Gentlemen, if you're over 60, I want you to listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might shock you. Every single bite you take can either build your masculinity or destroy it. In fact, the foods you put in your mouth today could determine whether your testosterone soars like it did in your younger years, or crashes, leaving you tired, weak, and disinterested in life. Most men don't realize that one simple daily habit, using nothing but natural foods, can make their testosterone levels surge by nearly 200%. And it's not a supplement or a drug, it's pure biological science. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a urologist and men's health specialist. For more than 3 decades, I've helped men just like you restore their energy, rebuild their confidence, and reignite their sex drive without relying on synthetic hormones or risky treatments. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most doctors will tell you testosterone decline is inevitable with age. But I'm here to show you that's not true. Your body still remembers how to make testosterone. It's simply waiting for the right nutrients and signals to wake it up again. And many of those nutrients are hiding in plain sight, in everyday foods you've eaten your whole life. In this video, I'll reveal the exact foods that can naturally trigger your body to produce more testosterone, increase energy, strengthen your muscles, sharpen your mind, and revive your passion for life. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also give you my 1-minute daily testosterone power bite recipe, a potent mix of natural ingredients that has changed thousands of men's lives. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of my future videos designed to help men over 60 reclaim their strength, energy, and confidence. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and tell me what topics you'd like me to cover next, because your feedback helps me create the content you truly need. Now that you understand how powerful these natural triggers can be, let's dive into the first one. A food that has been considered an aphrodisiac for centuries, but few men realize it's actually a scientific powerhouse for testosterone production. I'm talking about the ocean's ultimate secret, raw oysters. 1. The ocean secret, raw oysters. I still remember one of my older patients, John, who came to me at 67 feeling drained, frustrated, and convinced his best years were behind him. His testosterone levels were low, his energy nearly gone. Instead of handing him a prescription, I told him to start with something nature had already perfected, raw oysters. He looked at me with disbelief, but within weeks, he came back with a spark in his eyes that hadn't been there in years. Here's why oysters are one of the most powerful testosterone foods on Earth. They are nature's richest source of zinc, a mineral absolutely essential for testosterone production. Your body cannot produce this hormone without it. Just 6 medium oysters give you about 32 milligrams of zinc, nearly 3 times the daily recommendation. Zinc supports every step of the testosterone synthesis process and keeps testosterone from being converted into estrogen. When zinc levels drop, your testosterone crashes and your estrogen rises, leaving you feeling sluggish, soft, and unfocused. But there's more. Oysters contain a special amino acid called D-aspartic acid, which tells your brain to send a hormonal signal to your testes to make more testosterone. In one study, men who supplemented with D-aspartic acid for just 12 days saw a 42% increase in their testosterone levels. Imagine feeling that kind of difference in less than 2 weeks. I always recommend eating raw oysters once or twice a week, preferably fresh and unprocessed. If you can't get oysters easily, pumpkin seeds or grass-fed beef are excellent alternatives for zinc. The goal is consistency, to feed your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild its hormonal power naturally. When John made this small change, his energy improved, his workouts got easier, and his confidence quietly returned. It's amazing how something so simple can reignite the fire that age tries to dim. And speaking of fire, the next natural booster doesn't come from the sea, but from your kitchen counter. A tiny, pungent ingredient that can lower stress hormones and unleash your inner vitality faster than you might believe. 2. The ancient power of raw garlic. I'll never forget the first time I told one of my patients, Robert, to start eating raw garlic. He laughed out loud and said, "Doc, are you serious? You want me to chew garlic instead of taking testosterone shots?" I just smiled and told him to trust me. 3 weeks later, he called and said, "I don't know what's happening, but I'm waking up with energy I haven't felt in years." That's the power of something as humble as garlic. Garlic isn't just a spice. It's a biological amplifier. It contains a compound called allicin, which forms when you crush or chop it and let it sit for a few minutes. This compound lowers cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. And that's critical because cortisol and testosterone work like a seesaw. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. By reducing stress and inflammation, garlic frees your body to make more of the hormone that defines your energy, confidence, and drive. Garlic also strengthens blood flow and heart health, helping deliver nutrients and oxygen to your muscles and reproductive organs. It supports healthy cholesterol balance and protects the Leydig cells in your testes, the very cells that create testosterone. That's why men who regularly consume raw garlic often notice improved vitality, mental clarity, and sexual performance. Here's how to use it correctly. Crush 1 or 2 cloves, let them sit for 10 minutes, then eat them raw. You can mix them with honey, chop them into salads, or chase them with water if the taste feels too strong. Do this daily, and your body will begin to thank you in ways you can feel. Robert did it faithfully, and within a month, his wife told him he looked 10 years younger and happier. Garlic may be small, but it has the power to wake up your entire hormonal system. And while this fiery little bulb works from within, the next secret comes from the Earth's golden root, a natural healer that not only boosts testosterone, but also sharpens your focus, steadies your blood sugar, and rebuilds your inner strength from the ground up. 3. The golden root, ginger. A few years ago, I treated a retired firefighter named Mark. He was 65, strong in spirit but exhausted in body. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I've lost my spark." I asked him if he ever used fresh ginger. He chuckled and said, "Only in cookies." That's when I explained to him that ginger isn't just a spice, it's medicine for a man's hormones. Fresh ginger has been used for centuries to restore vitality, and modern science now explains why. It works by stimulating the release of luteinizing hormone, the very signal that tells your testes to produce testosterone. In one study, men who added ginger to their diets saw their testosterone increase by nearly 20%. But the benefits go beyond hormones. Ginger is a master antioxidant. It protects your testicular cells from oxidative stress, improves blood circulation, and even enhances insulin sensitivity. When your insulin levels are balanced, your testosterone stays high and steady. I advised Mark to start small, just a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger daily. He chewed it raw sometimes, added it to tea other days, or mixed it into smoothies. Within weeks, he noticed that his morning fatigue began to fade, his mood improved, and his workouts didn't drain him anymore. "It's like my body woke up," he said. That's exactly what ginger does. It wakes up your system from the inside out. If you can, choose fresh ginger over powdered forms. It's stronger, cleaner, and filled with more active compounds. Think of it as nature's reset button for your hormones and metabolism. And as powerful as this golden root is, there's another unexpected food that not only tastes like heaven, but also builds testosterone in a surprisingly delicious way. It's smooth, rich, and scientifically proven to support your blood flow and hormonal balance all at once. You'll never look at chocolate the same way again. 4. The sweet fix, dark chocolate. One of my favorite moments in the clinic is when I tell a patient that chocolate can actually help his testosterone. Without fail, his eyes light up like a kid's. That's exactly how David reacted, a 72-year-old man who thought pleasure and health never belonged in the same sentence. "You're telling me I can eat chocolate for my hormones?" he asked. "Yes," I said, "but only the right kind, dark chocolate." High-quality dark chocolate, at least 75% cacao or higher, is one of the most delicious medicines nature ever created. It's rich in flavonoids, powerful antioxidants that relax your blood vessels, improve circulation, and reduce inflammation throughout your body. Better blood flow means better delivery of nutrients to your muscles and reproductive organs, which helps your body build testosterone efficiently. But that's not all. Dark chocolate is also loaded with magnesium, a mineral that most older men are deficient in. Magnesium supports testosterone synthesis and prevents it from being bound up by proteins, keeping more of it active and free in your bloodstream. When David began eating 1 to 2 ounces of pure dark chocolate every evening, he noticed something unexpected. His sleep improved, his mood lifted, and even his afternoon slumps disappeared. Within a few weeks, his energy returned, and his wife told me, with a knowing smile, that he seemed more alive than he'd been in years. Chocolate has that effect. It nourishes your body and your spirit at the same time. But remember, not all chocolate is equal. Skip the sugary bars and reach for pure, high cacao dark chocolate with minimal ingredients. The darker, the better. It's a simple pleasure that works quietly in your favor every single day. And while chocolate may awaken your energy and passion, the next natural booster is something far more ancient, an herb that men in India have trusted for centuries to rebuild strength, stamina, and desire from the inside out. 5. The forgotten seed, Fenugreek. When I first met Alan, he was 68 and struggling with low energy, soft muscles, and fading desire. He told me he had tried every supplement he could find, but nothing seemed to stick. I suggested something ancient, something that had been used for centuries in India to restore masculine strength, Fenugreek. He raised an eyebrow. "You mean the spice my wife uses for curry?" "Exactly that," I told him, "but used the right way. Fenugreek is a quiet powerhouse for male hormones." Fenugreek seeds are small, bitter, and often overlooked. Yet inside each seed lies a natural compound called saponin, which directly stimulates testosterone production. It also contains enzymes that block the conversion of testosterone into other hormones like DHT or estrogen, meaning it helps your body keep more of what it produces. In one 8-week study, men who took Fenugreek saw major increases in free testosterone, energy, and sexual performance. Some even reported that their morning vitality and muscle tone returned for the first time in years. I told Alan to soak a teaspoon of Fenugreek seeds in water overnight, then chew the softened seeds in the morning and drink the remaining water. The flavor was harsh, but he stuck with it. A month later, he said, "Doc, I don't mind the taste anymore. I feel like myself again." That's the beauty of Fenugreek. It doesn't just boost hormones, it reignites the man within. If chewing seeds feels too intense, Fenugreek powder can be mixed into smoothies or honey. The key is consistency. Over time, it nourishes your body from the inside, helping restore not just testosterone, but also endurance, clarity, and mood. Alan's story isn't rare. It's a reminder that nature doesn't forget what we've lost. It just waits for us to rediscover it. And as powerful as this tiny seed is, the next food I'll share doesn't come from the ground. It comes from the heart of the Amazon forest, and just a handful of it each day can completely transform how your body makes testosterone. 6. The Selenium secret, Brazil nuts. There's a patient I'll never forget, Michael, 70 years old, a retired pilot with a calm demeanor but a quiet frustration he couldn't hide. "Doc," he said, "I feel like my engine just won't start anymore." His blood work told the story: low testosterone, high fatigue, and a sluggish thyroid. Instead of turning to medication, I handed him a small handful of Brazil nuts and said, "Eat just 2 or 3 of these a day and give it time." He laughed, thinking I was joking. But 3 weeks later, he called to say, "I don't know what's in those nuts, but I've got my energy back." Brazil nuts are one of nature's richest sources of selenium, a trace mineral that most men are quietly deficient in. Selenium plays a critical role in hormone production, particularly testosterone. It supports your thyroid, the master regulator of metabolism, and protects your testicular cells from oxidative stress. When your thyroid is strong and your testes are protected, testosterone production naturally rises. Studies show that selenium supplementation can increase testosterone levels, improve sperm health, and restore vitality, especially in men who were previously low in this essential nutrient. But the key is balance. Selenium is powerful, and too much can be harmful. That's why I recommend only 2 to 3 Brazil nuts daily, no more. It's a simple habit, yet incredibly effective. You can eat them as a snack, blend them into smoothies, or sprinkle them over oatmeal. Their creamy texture makes them easy to enjoy, and their benefits go far beyond hormones. They also support your heart, brain, and immune system. Michael stuck with his daily handful. Within a month, his fatigue was gone, his focus sharper, and his wife told me he seemed lighter, more himself again. It's amazing what consistency can do when you give your body the right fuel. And speaking of fuel, the next natural booster is as vibrant as it is powerful. An ancient red fruit once called the nectar of strength, proven to raise testosterone by nearly 30% in just 2 weeks. 7. The ruby fruit, pomegranate. A few years ago, I met George, a 66-year-old retired mechanic who had lost his spark. He told me, "Doc, I feel like my battery's dead. I used to have energy from sunrise to sundown, but now even walking the dog feels like a chore." I smiled and handed him a glass of deep red juice. "Drink this every morning," I said. He looked puzzled. "Pomegranate juice?" I nodded. "Trust me, George, it's not just a fruit, it's fuel for your hormones." Pomegranate is one of nature's most powerful testosterone enhancers, and modern research proves it. In one fascinating study, men who drank pure pomegranate juice daily for 2 weeks saw their testosterone levels rise by 24 to 30%. That's not a small bump, that's a genuine hormonal revival. The secret lies in pomegranate's dense concentration of antioxidants, which reduce oxidative stress in the testes and improve blood flow throughout the body. Better circulation means your organs receive more oxygen and nutrients, creating the perfect environment for testosterone production. But the benefits don't stop there. Pomegranate also lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that suppresses testosterone, and enhances nitric oxide levels, improving vascular health and sexual performance. It's no wonder ancient warriors called it the fruit of power. I told George to drink 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every day. Within 3 weeks, he told me his energy felt steady all day, and his mood had lifted. His wife later confided with a wink that he was back to being the man she married. When you choose pomegranate, you're not just drinking juice. You're giving your body a signal to wake up, rebuild, and thrive. The color of that juice mirrors the vitality it restores, bold, rich, and alive. And while this ruby fruit rebuilds your strength from the inside, the next secret food might surprise you even more. It's something crunchy, green, and often overlooked. Yet inside, it hides a natural compound that can subtly spark your testosterone every single day. 8. The green power stick, celery. There's something almost poetic about celery. It's humble, quiet, and often forgotten at the edge of the dinner plate. Yet inside those crisp green stalks hides a surprising secret, a natural compound that can actually nudge your body to make more testosterone. I remember a patient named Henry, 71, who once joked that celery was rabbit food. I laughed and told him that rabbit food might just put some strength back in your step. Celery contains androstenone, a natural pheromone-like compound that subtly signals the body to enhance its own testosterone activity. But that's not all. Celery also packs apigenin and other antioxidants that help block aromatase, the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into estrogen. In simple terms, it helps you keep more of the testosterone your body works so hard to make. Beyond hormones, celery supports heart health, lowers inflammation, and improves blood flow, all of which create the perfect foundation for vitality. I encouraged Henry to add a few stalks of fresh celery to his daily routine. He started juicing it every morning, mixing it with a bit of lemon and ginger. A few weeks later, he told me, "Doc, I feel cleaner, lighter, and somehow sharper." That's the beauty of celery. It's not loud or dramatic, but it works quietly in the background, restoring balance to your system one sip at a time. You can eat it raw, juice it, or add it to smoothies. It doesn't matter how you take it, as long as it's fresh. Nature designed it to work gently but effectively, supporting your hormones while refreshing your body. But if celery's quiet power surprises you, wait until you hear about the next food. It's rich, creamy, and full of the very fats your body needs to build testosterone. For years, men were told to avoid it, but the truth is, this food can help reignite your strength, stamina, and confidence from the inside out. 9. The tropical fuel, coconut. I'll never forget when Daniel, a 64-year-old former athlete, sat in my office and said, "Doc, I've been avoiding fats for years because everyone said they're bad for the heart, but lately I feel weaker, slower, like my body's running on fumes." I smiled and told him, "Daniel, your body isn't starving for less fat. It's starving for the right kind." That's when I introduced him to one of the most misunderstood foods in modern nutrition, coconut. For decades, we were taught to fear saturated fats, but the truth is, your body needs them, especially to produce testosterone. Coconut is rich in healthy saturated fats and medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, which your body converts into quick, clean energy. These fats are the raw materials for hormone production. Without enough of them, your body simply can't make testosterone efficiently. Coconut also contains lauric acid, a compound with powerful antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects that help protect your testicular cells and overall metabolic health. When Daniel began adding 1 to 2 tablespoons of unrefined coconut oil to his morning coffee, his energy returned within days. His workouts felt easier, his focus sharpened, and he told me his wife noticed a difference too. Coconut doesn't just fuel your metabolism, it rebuilds your hormonal foundation. Research even shows that diets with sufficient healthy fats are linked to higher testosterone levels compared to low-fat diets. You can use coconut oil for cooking, add it to smoothies, or simply eat fresh coconut meat. The key is to choose pure, unrefined sources and make it part of your daily ritual. It's one of those simple changes that quietly transform how you feel from the inside out. And while coconut feeds your body's engine, the next food is like premium fuel for your hormones. It's creamy, green, and loaded with a mineral so powerful that it can raise free testosterone by nearly 30% in just 1 week. 10. The creamy powerhouse, avocado. When I first met Tom, a 69-year-old retired architect, he confessed something many men his age quietly feel. "Doc," he said, "I eat healthy, but I still feel drained. It's like my body just doesn't respond anymore." I asked him what his daily meals looked like. Lots of salads, lean chicken, hardly any fat. That's when I smiled and told him, "Tom, your hormones are starving for healthy fats." Let's bring back the avocado. Avocados are one of nature's most complete testosterone-supporting foods. They're loaded with monounsaturated fats, the kind that fuels hormone production, supports the heart, and keeps your cells functioning smoothly. But what makes avocados truly remarkable is their nutrient profile. They're rich in vitamin E, which shields testosterone molecules from oxidative damage, and boron, a trace mineral that can make a dramatic difference. In one study, men who took just 6 milligrams of boron daily saw a 28% increase in free testosterone within a single week. That's not a coincidence. It's biology in action. When Tom started eating 1 avocado a day, sometimes sliced with eggs in the morning, sometimes mashed with lime and salt, he told me something changed. His focus sharpened, his mood lifted, and his morning energy returned. "It's strange," he said. "I didn't realize something this simple could make me feel young again." That's the quiet power of real nutrition. It works with your body, not against it. Avocados are easy to love. Creamy, satisfying, and versatile, they're an effortless way to give your body what it truly needs to make hormones naturally. And for men in their 60s and 70s, that small daily ritual can mean more vitality, better mood, and stronger intimacy. But if you think avocados are impressive, wait until you hear about the next natural booster. It doesn't grow in the ground. It falls from the trees and carries microscopic hormones that mimic your body's own testosterone. It's one of nature's most fascinating secrets, and most men have never even heard of it. 11. The ancient tree dust, pine pollen. A few years ago, a patient named Walter came to me feeling defeated. At 72, he told me he was tired of relying on pills and energy drinks to get through the day. "Doc," he said, "I just want to feel like a man again." I handed him a small jar filled with golden powder and said, "This isn't a supplement, it's nature's hormone whisperer." That powder was pine pollen, one of the most extraordinary gifts the natural world has ever offered men. Pine pollen comes from the male spores of pine trees, and it's rich in plant-based androgens, tiny natural compounds that mimic testosterone and help stimulate your body's own hormone production. While these plant hormones aren't identical to ours, they work in harmony with your endocrine system, gently nudging it to restore balance. Pine pollen is also loaded with vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and antioxidants that reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and support overall vitality. It's been used in Chinese medicine for centuries to boost stamina, energy, and sexual function, long before the word testosterone even existed. I taught Walter how to use it properly. Take half a teaspoon of pine pollen powder under the tongue, hold it for a minute, then swallow. Sublingual absorption allows those active compounds to enter the bloodstream directly, bypassing digestion. Within 2 weeks, he called me, his voice brimming with life. "Doc, I'm back in the workshop, fixing things again. I haven't felt this alive in years. Pine pollen didn't just boost his hormones, it reignited his purpose." It's a simple ritual, but a powerful one. Start with small amounts and stay consistent. Over time, it can help rekindle that inner fire you thought had faded with age. And as incredible as this ancient tree dust is, the next testosterone-boosting food might surprise you even more. It's something you've eaten your entire life, but chances are, you've been throwing away the most powerful part without realizing it. 12. The golden core. Egg yolks. When Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher, first sat in my office, he said something I've heard far too often. "Doc, I've been eating egg whites for years because I thought the yolks would kill me." I smiled and told him, "Robert, that yellow center you've been avoiding might be the key to bringing your testosterone back to life." For decades, cholesterol was treated like the enemy. But here's the truth. Cholesterol is the building block of testosterone. Without it, your body simply can't make hormones. And the egg yolk? It's one of the richest natural sources of that essential ingredient. Beyond cholesterol, yolks are packed with vitamin D, zinc, and healthy fats, all vital for testosterone production. Studies have shown that men who eat whole eggs, rather than just whites, have significantly better hormonal balance. It's not the cholesterol in eggs that hurts you. It's the processed food, sugar, and lack of movement that do. When Robert started eating 2 to 3 whole eggs each morning, scrambled one day, boiled the next, he noticed something remarkable within weeks. His energy came back, his mood steadied, his workouts felt stronger. "Doc," he said, "I wake up feeling ready again." I didn't think that was possible at my age. I told him what I tell every man over 60. Nature doesn't make mistakes. Whole foods, eaten in their complete form, carry the nutrients your body truly recognizes and uses. Egg yolks are nature's way of reminding us that balance, not restriction, is what keeps us strong. So don't fear that golden core. Embrace it. Let it fuel the man you still are inside. And speaking of golden power, the next food takes this one step further. It comes from the very bean that chocolate is made from, but in its purest form, it doesn't just satisfy your cravings. It can calm your mind, lower stress hormones, and spark your testosterone all at once. 13. The bitter bean, cacao nibs. I remember a gentleman named Frank who came to me feeling constantly worn out. At 65, he told me, "Doc, I'm exhausted no matter how well I eat. Coffee gives me jitters, and energy drinks crash me even harder." I smiled and said, "Frank, what you need isn't caffeine, it's calm strength. And there's a food that can give you just that." I handed him a small bag of cacao nibs, those tiny bitter pieces of pure chocolate that most people overlook. Cacao nibs are the raw, unprocessed form of chocolate, nature's purest version of energy and vitality. Unlike sugary candy bars, cacao is loaded with flavonoids and magnesium, 2 compounds that can transform a man's hormonal health. Flavonoids protect your blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and enhance blood flow, an essential part of maintaining strong erections and healthy testosterone production. Magnesium, on the other hand, helps activate testosterone in the bloodstream and reduces the stress hormone cortisol. When cortisol goes down, testosterone can finally rise. I told Frank to start adding 1 or 2 tablespoons of cacao nibs to his daily routine, sometimes in oatmeal, sometimes in yogurt, or blended into a smoothie. Within 2 weeks, he said something that stayed with me. "Doc, I feel balanced again. I'm awake, but not wired. Focused, but calm. My wife even says I look more alive. That's what cacao does. It doesn't just boost testosterone, it rebalances your system. It nourishes your nerves, steadies your mood, and helps your body function like it's meant to." The key is to use real cacao, not chocolate processed with sugar and milk. Choose raw nibs or 100% pure cacao powder. Its flavor is strong, but its effects are even stronger. And while cacao restores the calm energy within, the next ingredient adds a finishing touch. It's bright, fresh, and aromatic, capable of protecting your testosterone while cleansing your body from the inside out. 14. The fresh finisher. Parsley. There's something special about the simplest herbs, the ones we often ignore while chasing superfoods. I remember a man named Steve, 70 years old, who came to see me after trying every powder, pill, and protein shake to boost his energy. "Doc," he said with a sigh, "nothing works for long. I feel good for a week, then it fades." I smiled and told him, maybe it's time to return to what's fresh and real. Let's talk about parsley. He laughed at first. "Parsley? The little green thing they put on steak?" I nodded. "That little green thing can do more for your testosterone than most supplements ever could." Parsley is rich in a compound called apigenin, a natural plant flavonoid that stimulates the Leydig cells in your testes, the very cells responsible for producing testosterone. It also helps block the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, allowing your body to maintain higher levels of free, active testosterone. But parsley doesn't stop there. It's packed with vitamin C, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds that protect your liver and kidneys, 2 organs vital for processing and balancing hormones. In short, it cleanses your system while fueling it at the same time. I told Steve to make it simple. Eat a handful of fresh parsley every day. He started adding it to smoothies, salads, and even chewing it raw after meals. Within a few weeks, he noticed that his mind felt clearer, his energy steadier, and, as he told me with a grin, "Doc, even my breath feels fresher." That's the magic of natural balance. When the body feels clean, the mind feels alive, and the hormones begin to respond naturally. Parsley may be humble, but it completes the cycle of what your body truly needs: restoration, strength, and renewal from the inside out. And now that you've seen how these 14 natural boosters work together, let me show you how to combine them into one powerful daily ritual, a single testosterone power bite that can awaken your vitality faster than you ever thought possible. 15. The final word: reclaiming your strength. As a urologist who has spent more than 3 decades working with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, I've seen one truth repeat itself time and again. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. The body is remarkably resilient. It just needs the right fuel, the right rhythm, and a bit of patience. Every food we've discussed, oysters, garlic, ginger, dark chocolate, fenugreek, Brazil nuts, pomegranate, celery, coconut, avocado, pine pollen, eggs, cacao nibs, and parsley, works in its own way to support your body's natural testosterone production. Each one touches a different system: the heart, the liver, the brain, the testes, the thyroid. Together, they create a symphony of renewal that no pill can replace. I've watched men who once felt lifeless rediscover energy they thought was gone forever. I've seen marriages reignite, confidence return, and men wake up eager to live again. Not because of a miracle drug, but because they chose to nourish themselves the way nature intended. The secret isn't in doing everything at once, it's in starting somewhere. Pick a few of these foods, make them part of your day, and stay consistent. Give your body 2 to 4 weeks, and you'll begin to feel the shift: deeper sleep, steadier mood, stronger mornings, a spark you can't quite explain but can definitely feel. You deserve that vitality. You've earned it through years of hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance. Your body still remembers how to be strong. You just need to remind it. So take that first step today. Start small, stay steady, and let nature do what it's always done best. Restore, rebuild, and renew the man within you. Because growing older isn't about losing your power. It's about learning how to reclaim it